Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to all bosses of the Paragon Gauntlet. I am just loving this new format where you don't have to go through the Thronebreaker and you jump straight into Paragon. Now the nodes here are going to be unmastered with regeneration, so your solve and willpower masteries are removed. Then there's also accident prone, so every 5 seconds you are inflicted with a debuff, weakness, disorient, armor break or special lock before they are repeated every 10 seconds. There's also I am root on special attack, so when She-Hulk will use a special attack, she will root you. And obstinate charge, when you're trying to parry her, there is going to be a stun shield that will go on cooldown for 8 seconds when you attempt it for the first time. And combat deja vu, if you use the same special attack twice in a row, you are going to give unblockable to She-Hulk. Now all in all, not really a difficult fight. You can bring in any skilled champion and that can work. My favorite ones are going to be Okoye and also your Shang-Chi because of his unblockable. Both specials are easy to evade, so you don't really need to worry about the unstoppable buff, and you should be able to get through this fight quite comfortably. I've given you quite a few options, so you can check them out. Now this fight is quite annoying. It starts with cutting wire, so if you use a robotic attacker and in place of bleed, you are going to get a shock debuff whenever a bleed is applied on you. And there's also unnatural selection, so after the final hit of a defender's special attack, they will gain untouchable. Basically they will miss for 4 seconds. And to top it off, there is arrogance, so every 10 hits you will get faltered for 3 seconds. Now there's also power thief, so whenever you will miss any hit on the opponent is going to steal your power and get those special attacks. And remember, there's already unnatural selection, untouchable, so there will be a lot of miss in this fight. And there's also I reveal my trap card, so for the duration of the special 2 attack for the attacker, you are inflicted with a passive root or reverse control. So there is going to be reverse controls here. Now by far the easiest way to do this one is to find champions who are reverse control immune and also can bypass falter. So for example, Ironheart is a great champion. She is reverse control immune and she can also bypass the falter, so becomes like a very simple and easy Squirrel Girl fight. You can do the same with the Professor X also. You can also do quite similar if you're going to use Mr. Sinister. Just parry and heavy and use your SP1s, that can work. Another great one will be your Prowler because of his immunity to falter, so he can work really well too. Another good example is going to be your a Mystic champion. She is immune to falter, and Spiral, with if you bring in a synergy with Gambit, she is also going to be reverse control immune, so she works really well too here. So after that fight, we are moving on to the Spiderman Stark Enhanced. Now this guy is all about his evade. If you can counter his evade, you can basically shut him down. But remember that there is going to be a node Kung Fu fighting, so the attacker, the true strike, true accuracy, true focus and vigilance abilities will suffer minus 100% ability accuracy. So all of your cosmic champions will not work, so you need to bring in non-cosmic options that have some kind of counter to evade. So I'm using Okoye, so remember, whenever that I'm going to evade, I'm going to ensnare, so he's not going to miss. You can do the same with the slow from Shang-Chi or with the slow from Spider-Man skill version, so those champions can work. You can also bring in a Falcon, and with him you will also have an anti-evade ability. So any champion with anti-evade ability that does not have a true strike, true accuracy or true focus will work well. There is also going to be obstinate charge, so be careful about that. And if you get evaded, there is going to be a spry node on you that's going to deal damage, but don't worry about that. Just bring in a champion that has easy access to evade, that is not dependent on any kind of buff, and you should be good. Now this next fight is going to be against a Dr. Doom. Now he is super annoying to deal with, but because first he has buff toggle unstoppable, then he also has critical shock tether. So he will constantly keep shocks on you, passive and active, and he's going to get unstoppable as well. And then there's also buffet over time, and then he gets slow heal block, and stun immunity in a cycle. So he can be super annoying to deal with. The easiest way would be to bring a champion that have easy access to a slow that can control his unstoppable. That will help you out. If not, if you have like me that who's using an Ironheart, this fight is a bit difficult to deal with. But remember, I am using only 5-star champions. You can easily use 7-star champions and you can destroy Doom quite easily. Because when you have a 7-star champion, your damage will be much higher and this fight will not be this difficult. You can literally bring in a void and let him melt with the buffet over time. So the fight is not as difficult as it seems. I am using 5-star champions because for the first time this is open to players that are Paragon and lower as well. So this will help you plan your gauntlet and get some more rewards from it. So there we go, just playing around the unstoppable. Some other options that can work really well can be your Shang-Chi. He can work really well here because he have easy access to slow, and also he has easy access to like unblockable. You can also use She-Hulk. I think that Joe Fixit will be also a great option here because of his bleeds and also his petrify. Only thing you will need to do is to play around the unstoppable. So it's a slow, annoying fight that will take a little while to take down. But then again, I'm using 5-star champions. If you use 7 stars, this fight would be much faster and much easier to finish off. Now for our first new champion, Karolina Dean, she is all about her incinerates. The nodes is going to be walking on sunshine, hot to go, hothead, and snowballing fury. So she is all about getting those incinerates up and dealing damage. So the easiest way to deal with her is to bring in champions that have incinerate immunity. And also if you add in kind of a buff control, this fight becomes much more easier to deal with. I am using a Ironheart here. I only think I have Incinerate immunity, so what I'm trying to do is to evade the SP1s only, not pushing her to an SP2. You can just block it as well. Her specials are quite easy to evade and block, but the SP1 gives you a full evade and you can go back in. Another thing you need to take care about is going to be the root. So after every 12 seconds, she is going to root you herself or you, depending if you're near or far away from the defender. So just be careful about that. And apart from that, it's quite an easy fight. When I used it the first time, I brought in the Black Widow Clairvoyant. For her, I had to switch to incinerate mode, and then she was also able to take out Karolina Dean quite easily. Some really good options that can work are going to Shala is an absolute monster against her. She can apply all of those incinerate. She is incinerate immune, and with the SP1 with all the buff control, she is just mad amazing against her. You can also use Void here because he's Incinerate immune, and also you can get those petrifiers up, so the power gain is not a problem. And then there is also Wiccan. Don't worry, with Wiccan SP1 you can heal back all the damage that you get, and the SP1 will heal you up. Black Widow Clairvoyant is the option. And also you can use Kindred because he is also Incinerate immune and he also has buff control, so he can also work out super well. I just used in my Ironheart because I was trying to do the challenge with a 5-star. It gets really annoying to deal with it, but that's good. Gives you quite easy options on what champion you should bring in and how to evade the special. So let's move on to the last fight, that is going to be against your boss Nico Minoru. So I am using a Hulk here. Do not do it. Hulk is probably not the best option because I got really lucky here. Even after eating an SP3, I was able to bring her down. The best way to deal with this fight is to bring in champions that have poison immunity and also have power control. You have both of them, the fight is super easy. So the first thing is, whenever she will use a special one, she will get a miss at the end of it. So you need to have a champion that can control that. So the best champion for this fight is going to be Deathless She-Hulk because with a heavy attack she will apply fear and she will also get those mischance and she is poison immune. Now, if you don't have a mischance, the best next champion would be somebody that can control power and not give any power to Nico Minoru, because the SP1 and SP1 with the miss and the SP2 with the damage can become pretty annoying to deal with. And also, she's going to steal power from you. So, somebody like Dormammu would be amazing because you can constantly steal power, and then you can use an SP2 to power lock her. And you're also poison immune, so everything works out. Now, if you don't have that option, you can use somebody like Joe Fixit as well, and you can do the same thing. But with Joe Fixit or somebody like She-Hulk, make sure that you push Nico Minoru to an SP2, because at the end of it, there will be no mischance. The most important thing is that you have to use a heavy attack, otherwise there will be a lot of auto block, so you need to be careful about that. You need to use a heavy attack, and that puts that auto block into a cooldown and helps you get through the fight using basic attack. So start a fight with a heavy attack, and Vision was also a great option for me because of his immunity to poison and also miss.